Should we watch another Rhythm Roulette? So hold on, let's look at that Navie D video where he ranks. He like does a tier list on them. Oh, I'm curious about that. Does he like play any of them in it, or like how does this work?
Rhythm Roulette might be the greatest beatmaking series of all time on YouTube.
Yeah, but how many are there? How many competitions are there like for that? You know, like what? Who is their competition? Is what I'm saying. Who is the fucking competition, bro?
Shown us some of the best producers in the world flipping random records.
Okay, I'm gonna say it, bro. I'm gonna say it. This Ninth Wonder one, it was just okay. It was just okay. And people acted like it was the greatest thing ever because all of them, except for like one, were like shit around that time period. I'm gonna say it. Like he had a couple good beats in it, but like it was like very like formulaic, you know? It was just like he was just doing the same thing over and over. I don't know. It wasn't super creative is what I'm trying to say. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing, okay? Ninth Wonder was actually enjoying it though. That's fine. I mean, I'm just saying like it's not as good as people were saying it was. That's all I'm saying.
Best producer.
What about when you compare it to Timberland's? Well, it was great compared to Timberland's. Yeah. I mean, the problem with Timberland's was just you could just see the laziness, you know? You could just see the laziness. I think that was the real issue with it. Like it was so phoned in.
Just in the world flipping random records and making insane.
Okay, this one was crazy though. This was one of the best. I think this was actually the best one of this era or this season, whatever you want to call it. The Robert Glasper one. This one was crazy. This was actually one of the best ones I've seen.
Making insane beats, while others, let's be honest, completely fumbled.
Ooh, shots fired.
So today I'm gonna do the most internet thing ever and judge people who are far more accomplished than me. Let's rank the 30 most iconic Rhythm Roulette episodes from
okay.
absolute masterclasses to total wastes of time. Who had the best Rhythm Roulette ever? Who surprised me? Who straight up flopped? Let's find out.
Any Beats has one? Oh shit, I haven't seen that one. Maybe we have to watch some of these that we haven't seen.
If you're a sample-based producer yourself, a quick note, I'm actually hosting a sampling contest right now where you could win up to $1,000. The link for more information is in the description box below. Anyway,
never mind guys, let's do that instead.
Let's start. The first one up is Ninth Wonder. He has the biggest, most popular Rhythm Roulette. He's a producer who actually watched at least one of my videos in the past, which is cool.
Bro, you know what's funny about this? Busy tried to like throw him under the dirt. Let me see if I can find this real quick. How do producers, so on top of him stealing titles and thumbnails from him, this is also what he was doing, bro. How do producers support this man trashing the culture he benefits from? Ninth Wonder actually watched it after that and said he really liked the video. So he was trying to defend somebody that didn't need defending and was like, I like the video. Anyways, I just want to point that out.
So I'm going to start by putting him at solid work. In his episode...
That's fair. That's fair. So wait, which Ninth Wonder is he talking about? Is there more than one? Isn't there more than one from him? 9 years ago. All right, I just want to hear the end. Pretty dope. So which one is he ranking?
So I just love seeing how enthusiastic he is and how much fun he's having making his beats. In terms of producing, some things that jumped out to me is that he builds the ideas in his head first, which is really interesting. I don't think I have the imagination to do that myself. And he also
looks like he did a lot more work in that one.
So often lays down the drums before the samples, which is the opposite of what I do. So overall, it's just cool to see a different beat making process in this episode. He also makes a bunch of beats, not just one, but at one point he even calls one of the beats Just All Right.
Those drums are fire.
That one's all right. Let's go to the next one.
Which is nice to see that he's not sort of overstating or acting like everything that he touches is magic. We see some humility here, which is really nice overall. So I'm really happy to see that he is...
If you want people to like you, just make sure to say that what you're doing is just okay once in a while, you know?
Is a crowd favorite. I know a lot of people would probably put him as the sample lord, but there's only one sample lord that I'm allowing, and I already have that person in mind, so you'll have to wait and see who that is. Next up though, we have Havoc, and I am also going to put him in solid work, just under Ninth Wonder. In this episode, what jumped out to me was it was really cool seeing him make a beat out of residual instrument noise. That was a really unique thing that jumped out to me. And later on, we see another cool technique where he's stacking multiple chops.
I'm in the way here. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta fix this real quick.
Top of each other and playing 2 chops at the same time. And what this does is it basically creates a much richer layering. It's almost like building a chord using multiple chops at the same time. And in this episode, we also see the famous Havoc snare. So those who are unfamiliar, if you look at the credits to Kanye West's Real Friends, you'll see Havoc is attributed as a producer on that song. And I believe the reason why is because Kanye used this very snare that we see Havoc use here.
Even from a real friend.
That's funny as shit, bro. That's funny as shit. That's even crazier than getting credited for hi-hats. Just the snare.
Overall, just a great beat. I am a huge Mobb Deep fan. They're probably my top 3 of all time, so I might be biased here, but I am putting Havoc at solid work. Next up, we have Static Selektah. He will be in the That Was Decent category. Overall, I felt the beat that he made was cool. It was decent. I really like the string sample that he found earlier on in this video. I feel like that would have been more of a challenge and would have resulted in a bit more of a unique beat.
So many artists go through. How long is this video going to be? 30 minutes. He's not going through all of them. I'm not going to go pull up all of them either.
But instead, he opted for more of a straightforward sample. A soul sample, and that resulted in a little bit more of a straightforward, soulful beat. He even calls the beat.
I feel like if you're sampling soul on this shit, especially like in recent years, it's just too easy, man. It's too easy. Like, it's not, I don't know. I mean, if you're getting wowed by that, you're easily, it's not hard to impress you. That's all I'm saying.
Simple himself in the video. Overall, I just didn't really feel like I saw anything new or insightful. Just a pretty standard process, and in the end, a pretty decent beat. Illmind is next. Him I will put at That Was Decent as well. Just above Static Selektah though. Illmind makes a pretty okay beat.
Bro, if you got Illmind to do it in 2025, he would try to have fucking AI do it.
I really like the drum work, but the sample choice was just...
Yeah, half points for soul samples. You should get extra points if you sample something weird, like fucking death metal or house or fucking anything that's not soul, basically, or jazz.
Not my favorite. It was more of a clavinet sound that he used, which is just not a pleasing sound to me. The chopping was a bit more intricate, and that's why I
For some reason the chat's not updating.
put him above Static Selektah. And he actually says something that was really interesting in this video.
I usually like getting real musical with my stuff, but this is just one of those tracks that, you know, you don't really need to go crazy.
You can hear with the way the sample is used and the
Wait, hold on. This one's trash? Hold on, I gotta look this up. For some reason the chat's not updating. So wait, who was it? Was it Illmind? Rhythm Roulette. I need to see this one.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Illmind. I'm here at the famous A1 Records, NYC.
Alright, skip ahead. Wait, this can't be for real. What is this? Okay, it's a little better.
I like using
A sample is
Transient
not
Master
great.
by Native Instruments to give, you know, sometimes give the drums a little more snap when they need them.
It's always crazy to me when people wear their hats like that. Like, he clearly knows his shit. I think it's just not the best sample.
It's kinda hot. Shout to Patty LaBelle.
Drums are dope.
Not crazy. I usually like getting real musical with my stuff, but this is just one of those tracks that, you know, you don't really need to go crazy on like the musical breakdown and the hook. It's just like straightforward, rap shit. You know what I mean?
I don't know if people will rap on this, bro.
Tops that he created. The clavinet in the sample is just really musical. It's really fast moving. And so overall, whenever you have a very fast moving, very musical piece or sound within your sample that puts less sort of need for you to introduce that yourself in the beat, that's just a framework that I like to use. So yeah, Illmind, decent work here. Next up, we have...
I don't know. I would probably put it a little bit lower, but it's kind of hard to say because like I feel like the sample choice there was not great. You definitely put effort into it at the very least, though. So it kind of depends where we need like more of a baseline. Like where are we putting Timberland here? And I feel like the waste of time should be the people that are just like too high to even fucking do this shit. Like who was that one dude? Who was that one guy? Skywalker or something, bro? That was crazy. That has to be waste of time.
Here. Next up, we have LP. I am actually going to put LP at the very top.
Cash Cobain was trash too. That was a different one, but yeah.
Of solid work. Overall, just a great episode. It was funny seeing him use a warped record, and he was just overall really...
Dude, that record's fucked.
Fun and entertaining to watch. I really liked seeing his unique approach, this almost bomb squadian one-shot approach to sample.
Don't do my boy Skywalker like that. Did you even see that shit, dude? That was crazy. You haven't seen it? It's bad.
For the one idea that he starts building. Then later he finds what he likes and
I think he was just like way too high or something. I don't know, bro.
Has this really unique repitching approach, which is just far different and a little bit more advanced than what you typically see.
Bro, his drums are crazy.
And then he takes this idea and he uses his own amazing layers and just builds a very LP-esque type of beat. Just overall, I was really impressed with him, and I thought this episode was just fantastic. I really loved it. Black Milk is up next.
Wait, where did he say he put it? Fuck, I don't like how he puts it at the beginning, bro. Wait, where did he put it? I'll just see it in a second, I guess.
He had some of the worst luck with the records that he pulled. He had like a Christmas record at one point.
See, this is what I want to watch on here. I want to see, like, this would add so much more drama to it, you know? Having people like pull a fucking Christmas record or something, bro.
And another one of the vinyls that he pulled was just really scratched up and almost destroyed. Okay. But he did a great job of just finding something usable, which was really impressive.
Pretty dope.
And he also took it a step further, where he created multiple loops, multiple versions of a beat, instead of just finding one loop and then just calling it a day. So he put in a little bit more effort compared to some of the other producers that you see in the series. And also learned a really valuable trick that he brings up of just adding random vocals into the beat from rappers to make the beat sound better. So that was a really cool technique that I always kept in the back of my mind. So for Black Milk, I'm putting him at the bottom of solid work for now.
I feel like Navie's a little too nice with this kind of stuff. Like my tier list would be a little more controversial probably. It's just like everybody in the waste of time tier.
Here we have Manny Fresh, not a producer I think of when I think of sampling, but unfortunately I think I'm putting his episode at a waste of time. The sample that he uses is pretty bad to me. I just do not like this country sounding loop. Maybe it's because...
Bro, what is that sample? That's crazy. I mean, I feel like it could work if you like did like more of like a Dilla thing on it with like some side chain, maybe sped it up a bit. That could work, but like where he has it currently is crazy.
Because I'm from Canada and that energy just doesn't exist in me.
Tiny keyboard and a bad sample, that's pretty funny. You should do your own. I was thinking about it, bro. Maybe we will in the near future.
Connect to this idea at all. And then after that, he kind of just adds what feels like random sounds on top. They don't really add much onto the beat. It just feels random and chaotic. At that point, he then makes a second beat, but it...
Wait, what is all this filming shit? Like, wait, was he doing this live or something? Hold on, I need to go see this one. This is crazy. Oh, God, I hate our culture, dude. Not like rap culture, but just like the culture, like technology. You know what I mean? Everybody's just on their fucking phone. Like, I get it, but it just looks so stupid. This is not great. Bro, he's putting way too much work into these dialogue samples and not enough into these fucking melodic chops, bro. What is that? Dun, 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 dun.
And it wouldn't be Southern without.
What's up, Ride? Bro, this is like a troll beat you would send into a feedback stream to fuck with someone.
You see how great it sounds in these headphones?
This beat is terrible, bro. This guy's like nodding his head. He's like, man, this shit is ass.
Kind of has the exact same problems as the first beat to me. Overall, as a viewer, I just didn't really feel like I got much out of this, unfortunately. And that is why I'm putting this at
let's go.
a waste of time. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Manny Fresh. I just don't think I view him as a sample-based producer, but he's made incredible beats without using samples in the past. So, yeah. Erick Sermon, he is up next. Some of the greatest bass lines to ever exist in hip-hop. He is responsible for many of them. His approach in this video is also really unique, of finding smaller pieces and then repitching them to create shorter layers. And his ability to layer his own musical ideas onto the samples is also really impressive in this video.
That's what I really like about the Robert Glasper episode.
I think the idea that he builds, though, just doesn't really quite come together. I know whenever I do this
Yeah, I agree. Everyone has a bad day making beats. That is true. That is true.
approach of using multiple samples and trying to stack smaller pieces on top of each other, even having one small layer or one small sound not
I mean, Manny did put in effort, but I just don't know if he put in effort in the right way.
it right can completely throw off the entire beat. So big respect to Erick Sermon for how complex this approach is. But for this beat here, I am giving it a bit of a low ranking. I'm putting it at a bit of a letdown. Not a waste of time or anything. Still cool to see his process, and I feel like I got something out of it, but the beat just didn't quite come together for me. Apollo Brown. I remember when I found out that he uses Cool
I wanna
Edit to
hear
make
that.
beats, I was just
What? Cool Edit?
really confused. So for those that don't know, Cool Edit isn't even a beat making program. It's
What?
more of an audio editing program like Audacity. So what
Bro, like, the crazy thing about using something like Audacity or Cool Edit Pro is, like, there's not even anything to it. So it's not like you're, like, losing anything by, like, fucking picking up and learning another software. Like, there's nothing to it, bro. Like, you don't need to fucking... You didn't have to learn that software. You didn't spend years learning that software. Like, bro, it's just you record the shit. You record the shit, you turn it down, you can maybe put effects. That's all there is, man.
he does is he copy and paste layers on top of each other. Just a really unique and impressive way to make beats, but not something I would really recommend as something people learn to do themselves. In the end, the beat that he makes is okay. Apollo himself says he's not all that thrilled by it, but I thought it was pretty good. And so while the beat is cool, I would say not much in terms of
Yeah.
production techniques that I would want to use personally. So I'm putting Apollo
Okay, wait, I actually need to hear that one. Oh, this isn't bad. Bro, the fucking... Something is causing, like, a shake or something, and it sounds like a tiny little fart. Bro, that bass do be farting, though. That bass literally do be tooting. Speakers blown out. Okay, maybe that's what it is.
Small differentiation. Sounds good to me though.
I'd like to take time out right here to go back over my life.
Dude. It's like every time the bass hits, it's like... Oh, who ate the beans, man? Windows XP plus Audacity plus Cool Edit Pro. Oh my god. Never seen anyone chop samples on Audacity. I like the bit where he wears his cap low. Yeah, bro, how can you even see with your hat like this? This is crazy, man. People act like old software is out of the ordinary. I've been using Fruity Loops and Cakewalk since 99. Don't fix what ain't broke. Okay, so we know two people that are using really old shit. That doesn't mean shit, bro. What? Some people that, like, make beats have, like, the craziest thought processes. Like, I guess because you don't really need logic to do it. You know what I mean? It's more based on emotional. More based on emotions. I don't know why I said that.
Brown at the top of that was decent. Here we have Mac Miller. So this one kind of...
I don't know if I saw the Mac Miller one. We might have to pull it up for a second.
Threw me off a bit. So the first time I heard of Mac Miller, it was around the time he put out that project, Blue Side Park. And from what I remember, it was critically and somewhat universally panned. Not very many people liked it. And when I first heard the music on it...
Like I was like turned off from Mac Miller big time when I first heard him. I think it was this like Nike song or some shit. That Nike song I heard from him when I first heard him, I was like, bro, this is some hot dookie ass, dude. But then like I heard like his like shit like closer to when he passed, and dude, that shit's amazing. Like the Nike song though, no. It's kind of shitty how, like, you know, when you put out one of your first songs, if a lot of people hear it and they don't like it, that can like judge. I know he's dead, bro, but that can kind of like affect your like judgment of them and think all their music is gonna be like that.
I kind of just thought it was not all that great. And so I wrote Mac...
Bro, I'm not speaking ill of the dead. I think he's really talented. He's made a lot of great music. But the Nike shit, I didn't like that. That's all I'm saying. I feel like it's a very fair thing to say.
Miller off for a very long time. And then all of a sudden, I see him having an episode of Rhythm Roulette. And I went in with somewhat of a lowered opinion of him. But I would say that I was really impressed with what he did. The way that he uses a seemingly insignificant percussive sound and builds his beat around that is really impressive. You see him...
Bro, are those fucking squeaks on a fucking basketball court? What the hell is that?
Use big, colorful drums after creating that layer, which is really smart. It's just a really...
So the drugs made it better? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I will say this. A lot of people do make pretty good music on drugs. It depends what level of drugs you're on, though. And it doesn't automatically make it good, but it can make you very creative, for sure.
A way to quickly fill up space in your beat if you're using a very minimal layer or core idea in your beat.
Bro, that's actually fucking squeaks on a basketball court.
Use of multi-layering was also impressive. He plays his own sounds and ideas on top, and everything sounds really well integrated. The beat that he makes feels really unique to him. And so overall, my respect for Mac Miller just really skyrocketed after seeing this video. And so I'm gonna put him in solid work underneath Havoc, but above Black Milk. Next up, we have Oh No. For those people that don't know, Oh No is actually Madlib's younger brother. I am a big fan of Oh No. Some of his beat tapes from about a decade ago were some of the best ever. Dr. No's Ethiopium, Dr. No's Experiment. He is one of the most creative samplers. And in this video, you can see him right away doing something unique in that he samples video games. So already I found myself impressed with what he was doing. But unfortunately, the video games didn't really provide much material. You can see he tries layering, but in the end, the beat just doesn't really sound all that great. I think part of the
okay, hold on, we need to see this. Oh No, Rhythm.
It's like Destruction Derby, you know what I'm saying? It's like a Destruction Derby, it's just crash into everything. It's these two games, and when you collide these two together, you get a mess. That's what I feel that is, it's a mess.
This the beat here.
Excuse me.
I don't know about that one. It's alright. I mean, it's way better than the fucking Manny Fresh one, though.
Reason why is because I would assume that audio from a video game would probably be highly compressed. And if you've ever tried to make a beat out of something that is just overly compressed and really squashed, it is a nightmare to get anything to sound good or fit together. And the beat that he makes ends up feeling a bit chaotic. He has some great music in the past using really obscure, unique samples, but this one here just didn't really work out for me. And so while I do have a tremendous...
Bro, what the hell what is he working on, bro? Wait,
here,
what is he using the mouse on, bro? Is he using it on the fucking...
For me. And so while I do have a tremendous...
What was he using that on?
Respect for Oh No, and I love his music, I was a bit let down by this episode. Hi-Tek is up.
Oh, that's crazy, bro. Just use a fucking table.
Next, I am gonna put at...
Like, that's insane, bro.
That was decent. Come on, move. There we go. I like how he makes his beat here. He at one point decides to...
Yeah, it's crazy. You're basically just being like, yeah, I'm going to barely be using this thing, right? Because I'm putting so much effort that I'm not even going to be using this. Just going to use it on my knee. You know, just to let you know how much effort I'm putting in here, using this on my knee, all right? You know, it comes across as like, I don't know, very lazy. Very, very lazy. I mean, it basically is. There's no way you could say it isn't lazy, because it's like, hey, I'm going to be doing so little work with this thing that I'm just going to use it on my fucking knee, all right? Like, I'm not going to use a table, because, you know, if I was using a table, I could clearly, like, you know, I could easily access whatever I want here. Bam, bam, bam.
To start over and scrap it because he didn't like the original idea, which is something that I do often as well. Once he finds an idea that he does like, he does a pretty good job of layering his own sounds on top. Overall, just a pretty decent beat here. I do feel as though the techniques that he used, I didn't really feel like I got much out of it, although the end beat is pretty impressive. And so that is why I'm just gonna keep it at the top of that was decent, maybe even the bottom of solid work, but I'll keep him here for now. Here we have Jonwayne, a fellow YouTuber, his hair looking just as luscious as it does today. For Jonwayne, I'm going to put him in the middle of that was decent. The beat that he makes in the end is pretty cool for the most part. Some pretty straightforward sampling techniques, a bit of chopping and loop.
That one was okay. I mean, the first beat was cool, second beat, not so much. Where do you put it?
The beat that he
yeah, I don't know.
makes in the end is pretty cool for the most part. Some pretty straighthtforward sampling techniques, a bit of chopping and looping. Cool drum work on the beat as well.
I'd probably put it at the bottom of decent.
But I would say that I enjoy his beats that he makes on his YouTube channel far more. I think he really makes some incredible stuff on YouTube. And so for the beat that he makes in this episode, I just thought it was okay, but I would highly recommend checking his actual YouTube videos out because you can see him make some really incredible stuff. Large Professor is next. Him I am gonna put in a similar place as Hi-Tek. The top of that was decent, maybe even solid work, but I'll put him here for now. I thought it was really interesting to see how he creates a drum loop and sets the BPM for his beat before everything else, and then
that's crazy, bro. Laptop on the K.R.I.T. That's nuts. That's fucking nuts. There has to be somewhere better to put it. Why would you put it there?
Everything else, and then he adjusts the sample to play at that BPM while the drums are playing. This is a really useful idea that can help you catch an idea within your sample that you might have otherwise missed. And then he finds pieces within the sample that fits what he's built, and it sounds great.
Bro, wait, does he always set it up like that? That's nuts.
The chops all fit with one another, and you can even see him going into detail using all three samples and layering them perfectly. And so with that in mind, with how much unique techniques you see him do and how much I enjoyed the end result, I'm actually gonna move him up to the bottom of solid work. Organized Noize, again, producers that I don't really think about when I think about sampling.
Yeah, it's pretty high up, kind of crazy.
And I would say that this episode was also a bit of a let.
Okay, I'm interested in that one. Hold on, Organized Noize. All right, let's see this. Dude going to a wrestling match afterwards? This is cool, but it just feels kind of empty. But that'd be so funny if this dude just like turns around and suplexes his homie. Yeah.
You wanna come now?
Bro, where's the finished fucking thing? Damn, this mix is crazy. Bro, why didn't they put the hi-hat in, man? That hi-hat was fire. They took the hi-hat out? Pretty dope. Wish they had that hi-hat they were playing, though.
Down. The idea that they came up with, it was just not really particularly interesting in terms of the texture that the sample provides in the beat.
Oh, he's talking about this beat. That one they played earlier, but they had that one at the end.
And in the end, the sample wasn't really central in the beat anyways. I would have honestly liked to watch them make a beat without samples, just because I probably feel like they could have shown a lot more. And
so wait, that was earlier in the video.
not be as hamstrung by the sample. Honestly, nothing but respect for Organized Noize. They are some of the most forward-thinking producers with what they did with Outkast. Absolutely incredible. Again, I just don't think that this challenge probably aligned with their own strengths as producers, and so that is why I'm putting them at a bit of a letdown. Big K.R.I.T here, I am gonna put him at solid work. I would put him just below Mac Miller, I would say. So in this video, he starts off with a pretty straightforward sounding loop, which does sound good, and I think many producers would have stopped here. But then he decides to layer in these vocals from a separate sample. And at first it sounds pretty rough, but then he's able to really integrate it well into his beat. And then after that, he does this again with a piano from yet another separate sample. Just a lot of impressive.
Can you move chat to the right so we can see the tier list? Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier.
Bling and layering, which is really hard to do. And in the end result, it's a pretty great beat. So great job to Big K.R.I.T, solid work here. DJ Dahi. Out of all the rhythm roulettes, this one blew my mind the most. I've said this many times before. I think DJ Dahi is the most inventive producer of this generation. So here he starts by choosing a sample that isn't doing all the heavy lifting.
That's dope.
And he uses the sample.
Bro, that's so good. That's such a good sample.
And does some nice manipulation to it by slowing it down, and then he chops it up. And then he starts programming the drums and structuring around the beat, and it's just so wild to me that the direction that he goes in. He builds this bass line, and once everything comes together, the beat just sounds so full. These ideas that he does are just so different than what everyone else does.
Oh, I want to hear that one. That sounds sick. Wait, he made the Money Trees beat? That's crazy. Dude's recording a harmonica. Bro, this guy's dope as hell. Wait, is there another beat? Bro, why is everything so fucking distorted in this? Oh, this is sick. Bro, what is this sample? This is crazy. Okay, wait. Where does he put him?
As in the series, I just always find myself amazed when everyone would go this way. DJ Dahi just ends up going that way. I just have so much respect for how his mind works and where he goes with his beats. And that is why I am placing DJ Dahi as my sample lord. All hail
I gotta
DJ
agree
Dahi.
with that, bro. That was dope. That was dope.
Jake 1, I would put him somewhere around that was decent.
This is a pretty good tier list. I think you nailed it.
Possibly close to a bit of a letdown, to be honest. I like Jake 1. He catches a pretty good gospel loop within this video, which does sound good. But from there, while he does do some layering, it's more so just ear candy. They're not really musical ideas that he's building, and he doesn't really add to the beat in a substantial way beyond just that core loop. After that, we have some pretty straightforward drum pattern building and a good bass line. Overall, I just didn't really feel like I caught anything that jumped out to me. It's just a pretty good standard beat with a pretty standard process. And so that is why I'm going to keep this at that was decent. Wondagurl is the next one up. I was surprised by this one. Another producer that I don't really think of when I think of sampling. I think that she chose a really weird and difficult idea to sample.
What?
And in this video, you can even see that there were moments where it just wasn't coming together for a really long time in the video. But once she programmed...
Bro, what a crazy thing to try to sample.
...the bass line and the structure
around
the sample, and use the sample as almost a smaller melodic layer rather than the main melodic driving idea in the beat. I felt like that is when the beat really came together. And with just how unique and bizarre the sample was and how she was able to finally connect everything together, I am going to give this one a solid performance. Solid. I really like the beat and all the detail that was
I kind of want to hear that one. That one actually sounded sick. Bro, wait. You know what's hilarious? The person filming was actually like, hold on. Let me get a shot of her tapping her foot there. All right, perfect. Bro, why do people do this, man? Why are you struggling like that? Just get a goddamn mouse. What are you doing? What was the original sample? Yeah, cameraman's like filming her foot. He's like, hey, it's actually, we actually have like a no shoe policy in here. She's like, this is my studio. Yeah. Sorry. Wait, she sampled this? That's crazy.
To it, and so that was really impressive work by Wondagurl. You're not having deja vu. That is Ninth Wonder again. So he recently dropped a second episode, and in this episode he makes far more beats, almost like double the amount. And this is where I am going to bring up the Great British Baking Theory. For those that don't know, the Great British Baking Show is a show where a bunch of bakers come together and they are put through routine challenges where they have to bake a bunch of different stuff. So for example, they have to bake cupcakes one week, souffles the next week, whatever. And
Navie, you fat as hell, bro. Why are we bringing up food?
Once in a while, what happens is that the contestants are given a challenge. They'll be told to make a cake of some sort. And one of the...
Bro, I wouldn't expect this from you, Navie. You look pretty slim, man. Why are you... This is some fat person shit. What are you doing?
Contestants will have the idea of making 5 different cakes, for example. And what ends up happening is, even if one of those cakes is incredible, if one of them is just sort of mediocre and sort of just decent, it really brings down the overall perception of their performance. And that's kind of what I feel like happened with this video. While Ninth Wonder definitely does make a lot of cool beats in this video.
I don't know about a lot, bro. He made, like, there was 5. He made a lot of beats.
I feel like the amount of beats that kind of were just okay to me brought this one down. And so that is...
Yeah, because there was a couple dope ones in here, I think. But there was just so many in here, it kind of, like, watered the whole thing down a bit. And, like, one thing I didn't really like about this one is he was using breaks and he wasn't chopping them, which I feel like... was a little lazy. I mean, sometimes you could do that, like, but I don't know. It's just like you're looping the record and then you're like using a break loop, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, damn, you're basically just DJing at this point.
Why I'm gonna put this particular episode at that was decent, I would say around here. A-Rap Music, he is someone that I have a little bit of a side story here. When he first started blowing up was around the time when I first started making beats.
That's not lazy, dude. Everyone chops. The relief when people don't chop. It's just not that creative. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, you're just not, you know what I mean? I don't know. You're not really making it your own.
And I found myself very envious and jealous of him. He was making videos that were going viral. He got to hang out with my favorite producer of all time, Alchemist. His name's A-Rap Music. I kind of look like an A-Rap musician. And so seeing what he was doing and what I was unable to do, just felt very jealous and resentful towards him. But after watching this video, I will say that I think what he was able to do was really impressive and solid. I would put him in the middle of solid work.
I want to hear that one. I don't think I ever saw that one. Bro, what? Bro, what? This outro thing is like fucking 3 minutes long? Bro, what? Excuse me? How did this have a positive like ratio when they almost half the video is a fucking outro card? What? What? I'd be mad as fuck if they uploaded my Rhythm Roulette and then they put 3 minutes out of the 8 minutes as just a fucking outro card. Are you smoking crack? That's dope. That's dope. Jesus, bro. Bro. Yeah, that was crazy, Carpenter. That was crazy.
What's that, man? We out of here. Rhythm Roulette.
That was crazy. This one's dope, dude. Alright, then the video should have ended right fucking here, bro. Bro, they literally played the entire fucking beat for the outro. That's crazy. Yeah, bro, you know the beat is good when they play the entire thing over the ending slate. I think he might be one of the best ones, man. I don't know. I think he's also the samp god.
At first, we see some
sorry.
straightforward chopping and sampling in his episode, but I think what's interesting is just how much a beat can be improved by just adding these kinds of small fills and variations at the end of the loop and also dropping drums every once in a while. Just a great lesson that you see within this episode.
Now listening to A-Rap.
We also see him do more than just a simple...
Bro, oh man. If I was him, I'd be banned. I'd be banned. I'd be like fucking, you're now listening to A-Rap music.
He creates a B version of this idea. So again, more effort than what other producers might show within their Rhythm Roulette episodes. He even adds his own sounds into the beat afterwards. Just overall, a really solid work here and a great hard beat by the end. And that is why I cannot deny A-Rap music and put him in solid work. David Banner.
Bro, how is he not Samp Lord? That's crazy.
Again, not a producer who I associate sampling with. I was excited briefly when he found this one more dark sample in his video. But he decides not to use it, and eventually he goes with a more traditional, straightforward soul loop. It wasn't anything.
Oh, he's got like some dread and beards. This is crazy.
Or dark sample in his video. But he decides not to use it, and eventually he goes with a more traditional, straightforward soul loop. It wasn't anything that I was excited by. Again, maybe it's because I'm Canadian and there's just snow everywhere.
Yeah, that was crazy to not put him at the top.
And we are soulless beings. But while he does do a great job of laying around the sample, I didn't really find the sampling part of this video and of the beat all that great. And so to me, I put this as a bit of a letdown, unfortunately. Here we have DJ Jazzy Jeff, yet another very popular episode. I didn't even know Jazzy Jeff produced, to be honest. I thought he was just a DJ. I didn't really see anything that jumped out to me in this video as an interesting sampling approach. It's just kind of straightforward what he does. But again, since I didn't even know he produces, I can't really say that I was let down. So I'm just gonna put this as that was decent. Not really something that I would watch again or recommend, but you know what, maybe I will put it down here at a bit of a letdown in that case, just because I didn't really feel like there was much to this one. Hit Boy is next. I was really impressed by this one, so I'm gonna put him at solid work. First off, the sample that he decides to flip is just really unique and different, being a rock guitar riff. So it's not like he made this easy on himself, and then from here he's able to build around this really impressively. Just a great beat overall, and then he's able to make yet another solid beat with a different sample. Nothing he made here felt very standard or typical or like a layup. It was just really solid work, and that's why he is in solid work. The next fella up is Joji, someone who I'm unfamiliar.
I didn't even know Joji had one. What?
Familiar with, and from what I understand, he's like a meme lord of some sort. In this
A meme lord of some sort.
episode, he goes for a completely different genre, which I actually respect. Someone doing something a little bit different than what everyone else is. But what he ends up making almost feels more like a novelty record more than anything, almost like it's a joke in a way. None of the sampling techniques that I see in here felt all that outstanding or helpful to me as a viewer or someone trying to learn sampling either. So I would put this at a waste of time as well.
Oh, I gotta see this, man. I gotta see this. I didn't know this existed 6 years ago.
Yeah. All right, we're good. Traditional groovy, or if I want to just get weird for the sake of getting weird. Damn, what the fuck? You're gonna come in, whatever the
Yeah, it is GarageBand. What? Hey, it's not bad. The tempo's kind of insane, though. Yeah, I got you, bro. I'll cook you up something.
I guess that's somewhat it.
Quest for butt. Quest for butt. I'm on a quest for butt. Somewhat of a meme.
But it did
lord,
look like he did do some work with the arrangement. It's not just like a simple crummy loop that he builds. So I'll just put this at the very bottom of Letdown. Just Blaze, someone who I've always respected, but as I break more and more of his beats down on my YouTube channel, my appreciation and respect for him has grown even more. It was cool to see him in this episode think of the
What did we say about GarageBand people before?
Beat before he builds it. And he starts by building a pretty straightforward idea as the foundation to his beat. And if he just kept it at this, I probably would have been a bit let down. But after this, he adds more detail to really elevate the beat. He shows some really impressive musicianship.
Yeah, dude, this sprite shit is a curse for some reason. I don't know, man.
And so I would have put this somewhere closer to where Hi-Tek is. I'm gonna put this at the top of that was decent. If he just left this as that sort of foundational idea and called it a day, I probably would have been let down, but with how much detail he put into this, it really elevated it for me into a decent beat. Kenny Beats up next. Big amount of respect to Kenny.
Oh, Mr. Carmack's not in here? Ooh, Timberland's at the end here. Ooh, let's go.
Beats. I think what he did with the cave was similar to Rhythm Roulette, just really revolutionary and brings in the big audience and lets them see a side of producing that probably they would have never seen before. And I think that's really impressive and commendable that he took that risk and did it. In terms of this episode, though, I would say that it was just decent. I would put it somewhere around here. While I thought his sample choice was cool and unique with that flute.
Yeah, Carmack was one of my favorites.
Where the beat ultimately went and how few sampling techniques were done just didn't really feel like it amazed me. I think many of the beats that he's made on the cave are far greater. This one here, though, I would just say is a bit below the standard that I think Kenny is able to do. London on the Track is next. Admittedly, this is someone who I'm just somewhat...
Bro, I can't believe how shitty this fucking tracking they're doing with the text is here. Like, this is so fucking poorly done.
London on the Track is next. And
it's so fucking poorly done, dude. Whoever's doing this needs... I hope they got somebody better, or this person got better at doing this, because this is terrible.
Admittedly, this is someone who I'm just somewhat unfamiliar with, but I would say that this was a bit of a letdown as well. For how many views this had, I had a lot of expectations, but all he really did was use a simple loop and added some filtering to it. The final beat, it just didn't really sound all that full to me. While he did do some really cool layering, it didn't really show.
They did it on purpose to look cool? I mean, because it just doesn't look realistic. It looks shitty.
Up in the beat. So you know what? I'm actually going to put him down at a waste of time. I just didn't really feel...
Okay, I want to see that. I want to see the waste of time. Yeah, okay, this is why it looks so stupid. Okay, because this one, it looks good. This one's real. And then you can pan over to this one, and then it's just like it's not even sitting in the middle. It like moves. Like, look. Like 1 second, it's like here, and then it's just like moving on its own without the camera moving. Like, it's just, fuck, dude. It's done terribly.
Yo, it's your boy London on the track. And I'm here with Master Pill, and I'm about to do my rhythm roulette, you dig?
This beat's dope. Okay, let's hear it. Like, I noticed it before, but I didn't want to say anything. But like, the more I keep seeing, I'm just like, okay, I gotta say something about this.
No
All
keyboard,
right.
no sustain pedal, no MIDI, Logic, not Fruity Loops. Sample. Who does that?
What? Speak in complete sentences, please. I don't know what you're saying.
You met him. London on the track.
I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was okay.
Like the beat that he made or
I think the
anything
sample
that he did in
wasn't
this
great.
video gave me anything. Robert Glasper and his
This one's
son
fire.
Riley up next. I thought this episode was absolutely incredible. How his son picked out a really unique guitar strumming idea. So it's really awesome to see that, you know, even his son isn't going for the easy layups. He's doing something that's a little bit more challenging.
Just that.
Just that. That's it.
And it's such
That's
a
dope.
great sample because of how empty and unmelodic it is. It would
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with that.
provide a lot of challenge, but it also gives a lot of opportunity to build something musical around it much more easily. And what they build around it is just absolutely incredible to me. The beat, the final beat that ends up being created is one of my favorites that I heard in this entire series. So
I think it was a stupid move in this video to make only one sampler, because I feel like there were several that could deserve it. Like, I think you could move LP maybe at the bottom of that. Who else? That one dude, what was it? DJ Dahi or something? That guy was crazy too.
Oh, this one is going to go near the very top of solid work.
Yeah, that one should be, yeah, maybe even higher than that.
Absolutely great job here. And finally, we have Timberland. So his episode caught a lot of negative attention for a good reason, I would say.
I kind of wonder, do you think he's going to have a hot take here? I haven't seen this. Don't ruin it for me. But if you haven't seen it, what do you guys think he's going to say?
The beat that he made in this video was really substandard, really unimpressive, and the amount of effort.
It's not even just, okay, he's going to say it right here. I think I'm pausing Andy. Like, it's not even just that he didn't, like, that it wasn't that great. It was like so low effort, bro. It was just like, okay, are we done? Like, you know what I mean? Just trying to get out of there as soon as he could.
That was put into it was very low overall.
Yeah.
Now, there are sort of two theories for why I believe this happened. One is something that I see a lot of people mention, which is that the only reason why he wanted to be on this episode in this series was to promote his company, his business, and half the episode was spent talking about it. And I can see validity to this theory. But another thought that I had was that the reason why his beat wasn't all that great is because over the years, Timberland has been the victim.
He's too busy prompting, bro. He's way too busy prompting.
Of a lot lot of sample lawsuits, and over time he's moved away from sampling. And when you watch,
does he even cook up anymore?
His live streams nowadays, he actually uses pre-made modern samples. And the thing about these is that they provide layups fundamentally. Often you just see him adding drums to the sample and he's like, all right, this is done. And I think over time your sampling skills can atrophy and get weakened because you're not really challenging yourself.
I mean, he wasn't really much of a sampler to begin with, right?
Which is why I built RSO real samples.
Oh god, this guy.
Only these are samples that are meant to provide that more traditional sampling experience. You're gonna feel challenged, but it's gonna also give you material to make amazing beats out of. And so I just...
I'm feeling challenged every day, man. Mentally challenged.
Overall, believe that the reason why Timberland's episode...
He sampled a lot early on. Well, I'm just thinking like the hits I know from him aren't sampled, you know, like dirt off your shoulder.
It was so underwhelming and an absolute letdown and audio.
You know what I'm talking about. Unmistakable.
Also, even just say a waste of time. It's just because I just don't think that,
oh, the bottom of waste of time, bro.
That he's sampling enough and that skill is probably diminished over time. Overall, though, I will say much respect to all these producers. It is extremely difficult to be given random samples and make a beat out of it.
True.
Let alone having an entire crew filming you and having to be entertaining. And
Scott Storch played all the synths. Yeah, I've heard that. He played that one too. Well, shit, dude, what the fuck did he do? Did he do anything?
And fun. But that is where I would rank all of the top 30 Rhythm Roulette episodes. Let me know in the comments how big of an idiot I am. Again, this is the...
Nah, I think he cooked, man. I think for the most part, like, that was a pretty good tier list. I'm pretty happy with that. The only thing is I think he should have put a few more people should have gone up to Samp Lord. Like, there's way too many people in Solid Work. Just because it's the Samp Lord doesn't mean there should just be one. Like, I mean, I know it's like not plural, but like, come on. Too many of these were good to not be at the top tier. But yeah, that was pretty dope. Good job, Navie D. Very interesting video. I don't know if it's going to be his best performing video, but I think it's a really good idea. I haven't seen anyone else do this.